Hello and welcome to the May update. I'm finding this slightly off-putting. I'm having to hold my phone upside down because the headphone jack is almost completely gone and the microphone falls out if I don't. My normal solution for the headphones is to have a rubber band holding it in place, but the microphone jack is a straight one, so that doesn't work either. I really must get this phone fixed, but the thought of being without it whilst it's being fixed is a nightmare. And on top of that, to fix the microphone, they have to take every other component out and put it back in. I'm just nervous about what state it's going to come back in. So for the moment, I'm using hacks like this. Okay, so weather, it's a little bit better today, actually. I tried to record one of these yesterday and it didn't come out properly because I didn't have the right microphone. It was very windy. And I had my scarf on. It was horrible. It's a bit warmer today. There's a goose, I think it is, somewhere in the background, and lots of other noise around, but yeah, it's not too bad. If the sun comes out, it'll be really nice, but that is an if at the moment. In terms of news, the news no one's going to want to hear is that Wanderer 5 has hit a delay. Unfortunately, my editor has been pretty seriously ill for 5 weeks now, and so hasn't been able to make any progress on it. Hopefully she's going to start picking up in the next week or two. There's been a few different things going on. The latest one is a chest infection on top of some other nasty complications from having had a cough for 5 weeks. So I know it's a real pain. I'll keep everyone updated, but there is going to be a delay. In better news, Dark Soul Silence Part 3 is now, as of last night, actually, it's 75,000 words. That's 45,000 words since the last update. So I'm pretty much hitting my target that I was hoping for of 10,000 words a week. And it also means that I've done most of the first draft in just 2 months. I expect to finish it in the next week or two. So that will be a book written in first draft form in well under 3 months, which is really amazing. Shows that doing the outlining and thinking through the storyline, which is included in that time, actually really does help. So that's Dark Soul 3. There is another sci-fi book on its way, a space opera. It's going to be a new series, a new universe. And I'm getting that one written by dictating. So today I'm recording this update, but generally when I'm walking the doggies, or the dogs even, I keep doing that. When I'm walking the dogs, I would normally be dictating the story. Sometimes I just get 15 or 20 minutes in, sometimes it's 30 or 40 minutes. And then when time allows, I'm translating that into speech using the dictation software, which is turning out to be really accurate, actually. What's helped there is I've changed from using the smartphone to using a dedicated dictaphone, which has a lot more settings for cutting out background noise when you're outside and the like. So it's getting the accuracy right up there to probably about 96-97%. Sometimes more, depends on how clearly I'm talking when I walk. But what that means is that I'm, as well as doing Dark Soul and getting 45,000 words done, I'm also getting quite a lot of words done on this other story, which may be a novel, might be a novella. I think will probably be the first in a series because I'm really enjoying the universe. So just watch the doggies try to tangle themselves up. It's always fun holding both of them on one hand. So that's going pretty well. I'm not going to say too much about that storyline, that universe, other than it is space opera. I think it's going to be a little bit more science fantasy than the Wanderer's universe. I've got a feeling that it's going to delve off a little bit into things that are a little bit beyond science and a little bit more into bringing the fantasy elements in, which should be good fun. Although not massively bringing them in. I hope it will be massively good fun. And what I can say about it is there are intelligent ships in this universe, a few, not a lot, but these are nothing like the Wanderer. You would probably quite enjoy running into the Wanderer as long as you weren't trying to capture it. It's quite a reasonable and pleasant ship. These are nothing like that at all. That's all I'm saying for the moment. Other news, I've actually started reading quite a bit more, which is really good. I've actually done the switch from using my Kindle to mostly using my phone during the day, which works surprisingly well. And then At night I read on the Kindle, which has to stay in my bedside cabinet because the smaller of those two rat bag dogs likes chewing anything she can get her teeth into. And she got the Kindle, luckily she just totally destroyed the case. The Kindle itself only has one tooth mark in it. But yeah, so that's allowing me to read quite a bit more. Sometimes it's just 2 or 3 minutes whilst I'm waiting in a queue, and I've really enjoyed it, and that's actually allowed me to blast through a really good series. So I'm going to write a proper review of this. Probably will be up about the same time as I post this or just after. But the series is Unicorn Western, and yes, that means you have a marshal, a gunslinger, riding a unicorn instead of a horse. But this is no sweet and fluffy unicorn. Edward is a magical being. He's ancient and he's cantankerous as anything. And while he does help Clint, the marshal, out at times, he's just as likely to watch Clint struggle through a fight and get shot, and only then step in to heal him. It's got a wicked, sarcastic sense of humour, and the books work incredibly well. First one is quite light-hearted, and then as you go through the series, there's 9 in all, and it really does get interesting. The storylines are really good. The development of the history of the world and of what's going on is great. And it really keeps you turning the pages and then turning to the next book, the next book, the next book. So heartily recommended. If you like, it really reminded me of the Dark Tower series and John Shano from David Gemmell. I think it's Gemmell. I used to say Gemmell, but I'm sure that's wrong. So John Shano as well, but not stealing anything from either of those, and a bit lighter, a little bit less intense than the Dark Tower series, but still, but really good in its way. It's a slightly different take, but does remind me of those two series. So if you like the sound of it, grab the first one. It's very reasonable, and then if you enjoy that, I'd say get the box set. Box set is, I can't remember quite how much, but much cheaper than buying all the books individually. And it also has the advantage that it means that you have them all there, so you just keep flicking through from one to the next, which is what I did. They're not very long books, but they're reasonable length, and yeah, I think I got through them in about a week and a half, which was brilliant. God, I'm showing it's early in the morning, and I'm not used to doing this much exercise till later in the day, so I'm puffing away. So that's pretty much it. Other news, I don't think there's anything major. Oh, if you're on my mailing list and have the free book library, or you've downloaded some of those books or all of them, there's now the ability to download all of them in a single file. So you get all 4 stories, all 4 novels, all 6 short stories, all in one file. You can still download it the other way if you wanted to, but this just makes it a bit easier, a bit less hassle to transfer it over. So that will be on the newsletter that's going out. If you're not signed up, if you go to the website simongoodson.com, and there's lots of different places that you'll see a box where you can sign up for the free book library. That will get you the links to the books, and it will also mean that you will get updates by email and other bits and pieces. So that's it from me now. It's run a bit long, sorry. I did have notes when I did the version yesterday. Today I had notes, so it's no notes, so it's the usual rambling one. As I say, it's quite a nice day here. If the sun came out, it'd be lovely. But it's starting to feel a bit more like spring than it has done the last couple of days. So next time I do an update, I'm pretty certain I'll be saying that Dark Soul Book 3 is finished, and I think I'll be starting on Dark Soul 4, and hopefully have some progress on Wanderer Book 5 as well. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.